The drum pads in your MIDI keyboard, they have a lot of sounds on them in the base of it. But what if you want to use your own samples inside of your DAW using your drum pads? Let's talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be learning how to use your drum pads on your MIDI keyboard inside of your DAW. First thing you need is a MIDI keyboard or a drum pad. Now, this can apply for both versions of whatever you're using for your pads. You can have a MIDI keyboard with some drum pads on it like I do. I have the Akai MIDI Player keyboard, which has about 8 drum pads on it. Most drum pads have 16 or even 24 drum pads on them. I'd recommend this tutorial for drum pads at the maximum of 16. Here's how this tutorial is going to work. We're going to show you how to map the drum pads inside of your DAW, and then we're going to essentially show you how to make a beat out of the drum pads and see what we make at the end of the day. So let's get right into it. First things first, you're going to open FL Studio and you're going to go over to the plugin section, like here, and then all of these should come up. You need to find FPC, which we're going to be using to map our drum pads and map samples to our drum pads. Find FPC underneath Direct Wave and Drumax round about here on the generator side. Everybody should have this plugin from getting the standard version of FL. So we're going to click it twice to open it up. There we go. Opened up, nice and easy. This will appear on your channel rack just underneath your standard 4 808 trap drums that you'll get at the start of every FL session. So obviously if we press the pads currently, you get some default sounds, and if you press your pads currently, then you can hear the sounds out of those pads. As you can see, we've got these, we've got the pads right about here, and then as I press these, so if you want to find out how to get your own sounds onto these pads over here, you firstly need to go to the presets section. So click on here, then you just click empty, and it should get rid of all of the instruments on the pad currently. Now, as you can see, it's all clear. Pads 1 out of 32. We only have 8 pads on my MIDI keyboard, so I'm going to essentially be mapping stuff from my audio library onto these pads. I currently have the Akai MPK Mini Play MIDI keyboard, and it only has 8 drum pads on it. So we're going to be mapping, not 8 drum pads, we're going to be mapping about 4. Just a kick, snare, clap, hat, essentials for a beat. So let's just try and look through the audio library and see what we have over here. Let's get hat. We'll put that on the third one. Then we've got the kicks over here. Trying to figure the vibe that we're going for here with this beat. I like this kick. Alright, let's go for this kick. Then we'll get a snare and a clap. Have that here. I also just want to show you guys something else as well. You can also combine sounds. So what I'm going to do, instead of having both a snare and a clap, we're going to combine the two of them, and we're going to have a crash around about the 4th pad around about here. So let me see if I can find a good snare sample. There we go. Let's combine these. See how it sounds. Okay. Then we can try get a crash cymbal. Need a crash. A little ride. We can do a bit of a ride. We can have a bit of a ride cymbal. And finally, an 808. See if this works. Get an 808 as well. Okay, let's go with that. So we've got our instrument selected, so now let's go ahead and map our pads. So what we're going to have to do for this step is click this arrow right beside pad 1 out of 32, right here. Go to the bottom, then below load note layout, you're going to click map notes for entire bank. Now what's important is, for this plugin, you have to map your drum pads from left to right, going from the bottom up. So if I can somehow record myself from this POV. So you're going to have to press the kick, then the snare, then the hat, and then the ride at the end, in my case. So we'll just do that right now. There we go. Then once you're done, you'll click cancel map notes for entire bank. Okay, we're done. Now as you can see here, it says 5 out of 32. You're essentially going up as you go, loading the sounds onto the pads. And as you can see in the list around about here, you've got the sounds and the actual samples loaded onto here. So we're going to cancel the map notes, because if we press any more pads after the 4 that we've already mapped, we're going to be mapping more samples to pads that we don't that we do have on our drum pad, and essentially we'd be just adding more noise to the samples that we've made here. So let me just press these to see if they're all in order. There we go. Nice baby. Now that we've effectively made our samples and loaded them into the drum pads, let's make a beat out of it. Super simple beat. So to do that, you go to the piano roll, click a little small arrow at the top left of it, click piano roll. Your samples would have been loaded into the piano roll roundabout here. It's time to record something, so let's get ready to go. So as you can see, if you press the pads, comes up on the piano roll. I'm just going to make something basic, nothing special. It's a YouTube tutorial. And yeah, let's get something recorded. I would recommend recording your pattern at a roundabout 80 to 90 BPM, because most drum beats are around about that by itself. And plus, you're going to be stretching it out during when you're making your track, depending to what theme or what BPM you play to. Plus, you can just edit the notes post-recording as well. And yeah, let's get right to it. I can do better. I can do better. I can do better. So we got something there. It wasn't, as perfect as I wanted it to be. I did want to add that crash at the end, but then again, in the moment, I just thought, hey, I might as well just press the hat. Either way, it's a super simple beat that I've made here. I'm going to have a listen back, fix anything else in post, and yeah, let's see how this beat turned out. That is how you map your drum pads and use them inside of FL Studio with your own samples. I hope you guys have watched this and paid a close attention. If there's anything wrong with this tutorial, then please let me know. I'm always open to advice. And yeah, I'm also a music producer myself. I produce sample packs and I produce beats occasionally. But yeah, if you have any requests for me, then please send them to this email down below. And if you do have any questions about my sample packs, or if you want to follow my accounts for my sample packs, then please follow this account and also follow on Instagram as well. Instagram will be on screen and the YouTube is currently down below. Thank you for watching. Hope you've all had a good day. Ciao for now.